All right, bro. I've been meaning to bring this up. I have it on bookmarks for Twitter for a little bit, so might as well bring it up now. The 2024 comic book Rotten Tomatoes scores for comic book movies.
Mhm.
Madam Web, 11%. Deadpool Wolverine, 78%. The Crow, 23%. Hellboy, The Crooked Man, 41%. Joker 2, 32%. Venom, The Last Dance, 37%.
'Kay.
It's been a year. We'll just say that. It's
Yeah.
been a year for some comic book movies.
Mhm.
Um,
I don't take that too personal though, just because the slate already wasn't that impressive. We already knew that, right? Like even last year when we were talking about the movies, we were only pretty much looking forward to Deadpool, Wolverine, maybe Venom,
we're looking
maybe.
to
Uh
Joker too. We were.
That's true, but even I had my assumptions about it, right? Like, we talked
That's
about
true.
it before. Even I had my doubts about it just because the whole musical aspect, and I already was n against the whole musical thing, so I did have my doubts about it. And then you have Venom 3, I did have a little hype about that, but at the end of the day, that's a Sony movie. And then Craven is like, you know, that's like it's like whatever, but, so I don't take that to heart, really.
Yeah, I mean, what sucks is that okay, Deadpool Wolverine exceeded my expectation, or it was. I was hyped with it. I was happy.
Mhm.
Did I expect maybe a little more? Yeah, I could have been shown more, but guess what? I still absolutely love the film.
Yeah.
Um, and Joker 2 and Venom 3, I truly was a little disappointed. I was truly a little disappointed,
Mhm.
but for Joker, I mean, I still say I didn't hate the movie at all. I still
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Was I disappointed? Yes,
I
because it just wasn't what I thought it would be, but yeah, at the same time, it was exactly what it was supposed to be. I mean, I don't know.
I kinda feel the same as you as far as the Joker movie goes, and what sucks is I feel like we haven't had a chance to really talk about this in studio, like, we're just talking about it here on StreamYard. We even reviewed it here on StreamYard.
Mm,
I feel like clip-wise, conversation-wise, it just hits better in studio, but I feel like the Joker movie a few years down the line, I'm not saying it's gonna be, like, looked at it in different light or people are gonna forgive, what's his name? T Todd Phillips
Josh
for it.
Phillips.
I'm not saying they're gonna forgive him for it, but I do feel like it's gonna be one of those movies where it's like once it's set down, once your feelings about it not really being a DC like superhero villain type movie have settled down, the movie's not that bad.
No.
Um, and so it's like, obviously, but like I said this when we reviewed it. We talked about it earlier this week, I think as well. I think people are in the with well within their reason to be pissed at Todd Phillips, be disappointed at that movie because it wasn't what we expected it to be. But I think once you take those away and you sit down and watch the movie, it's really not that bad. So I think people will have a different opinion on it maybe in few years or so. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, and maybe people will just hate it for sure. Um, but we left there and we saw it a little bit later, right? So we
Mhm.
went into it knowing that people were pissed about this movie. And I honestly think that helped us. I honestly think that helped us. And we went into it knowing, okay, this is going to be different than what we expected. So let's just go into it with an open mind. And I think that helped us in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I know you said that whenever we initially reviewed it, and yeah, it just mild those expectations and everything like that. Kind of knew what we were getting ourselves into, and in the end, like I still said it because I mean that's what you said when we were walking in is you fully expected to hate the film, and you didn't hate it. I mean that
Mhm.
says something right there. It wasn't as
Yeah.
bad as you expected it to be. And for
Mhm.
Venom, I think the best way to say it is the same way we reviewed it is they didn't need to make that movie. They didn't.
Okay. Let
I
me ask you
understand.
this.
I understand they why they did. I said this at work with a couple of coworkers. I said this to Marco and some other people, but I feel like the best way to say it is, even though it's a movie, it's almost like Venom 3 was a DLC. I feel like
Mhm.
it wasn't like necessarily the movie we were supposed to get. It was just like a DLC from on the side or something like that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What's a bigger disappointment, Venom 3 or Joker 2?
Joker 2.
Why? Just because Joker 2 hit a billion before?
No, because universally it was beloved the first time, and even me. I mean, I how dark it was, how gritty it was, and everything like that. It was something we've never really seen before for that first one. So my expectations were extremely high. Did I need Joker 2? No. It was one of those situations where We had Venom 2, we knew we were gonna get Venom 3 regardless. We knew that was gonna be a trilogy. Cool. Venom 2 or Joker 2, we did not need it, but since we were getting it, it was just like, if we're getting this, that means it's something big. If they're going to do something, grand, they're going to blow our expectations out of the water because there has to be a story there to make Joaquin Phoenix to say, I will actually do a sequel because he doesn't do sequels and everything like that. Hell, he was supposed to be Doctor Strange, but he didn't sign on to do it because he doesn't want to do sequels. He doesn't want to do multi-film deals like that. So
Mm,
it's like for him to be Joker, knock it out of the park the first time, win a freaking Oscar for it. Say, okay, let's come back and do it again. Yeah, we all expected something crazy, or not necessarily crazy, but we all expected this movie to be amazing. And it was mid for some people. Some people absolutely hated it. I mean, social media burned this film and everything like that. And then you have people like us, we were like, wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad.
mm. I don't know. To be honest, I have more disappointment in Venom 3, to be
Mm.
honest. Just because, like I said, I think I already had my doubts about Joker 2. It was one of those things where it was like the first one could have ended and it would have been perfect, and I didn't need a sequel. They're giving us a sequel. Okay, I'm going into it with I don't know what to expect. I don't know, but I didn't have high expectations. Now I'm not saying I had high expectations for a Sony movie, right? Because the past few that we've gotten have not been perfection by any means. But I think because for me, multiple times I feel like we were teased as far as like whether it was rumors, whether Tom Hardy actually showed up in a fucking Spider-Man movie, in a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, and we had these hopes of eventually getting a Venom Tom Holland or a Venom Tom Hardy Venom in a different Spider-Man. We had those kind of like hopes that maybe one day this would happen, right? Maybe one day, and I guess it still could, but the way the movie ended and the way the movie was, like, it just that was all for nothing. It kind of just felt like to me, all those years of theorizing and the whole Tom Hardy showing up in Tom Holland Spider-Man movie and teasing that we are finally going to see our Tom Holland Spider-Man fight Venom symbiote. It was kind of just all for nothing now, and I guess we could still get that right. Like we don't know what the whole future is, but even end credit wise, even the Knoll situation, like it did not deliver for me at all. And so I feel like the possibilities with the Venom movie were just so much larger than a Joker sequel movie. So for me, I just I feel like that's the bigger disappointment to me.
I feel like I was already disappointed when it came to Venom, not necessarily because of the movie, but what was it? Was it No Way Home where you already saw Eddie Brock disappear from the universe?
Uh,
Is that where we got that post-credit scene where in the beginning we thought he was
yes,
gonna be in the Tom Holland universe, and then he already
yeah.
disappeared, and it was just like, there goes that plan. So, it was like, I didn't really expect to see any, like, ties to any Spider-Man thing, anything like
But
that.
they
I
left
mean,
the symbiote. But they
you're
left
right,
the
they
symbiote,
did.
so then it, like, it just it op that, you're just like, "Holy shit, he left a piece of symbiote." But now in this movie, puts the glass on it, and then you find out it's not actually fucking in Tom Holland's universe, like, it's in a different u it's in the Sony universe. So, that's where I come from, is, like, I just felt like multiple times I was strung along, and it ended up not paying off at all.
Hmm. Yeah, good point there too.
But, so that's why it's the biggest disappointment. Overall, the whole year's been okay. We didn't really expect much anyways. Next year, let's say we have these ratings next year, that's a big disappointment.
Yeah, I was trying to get something else pulled up that shows, okay, to kinda say, 'cause going into the whole disappointment thing, it's off topic, but still, as far as would have been a disappointment, would have been, great. Did you see the photo of Brandon Fraser as Superman?
Yes.
If we would have got a Brandon Fraser Superman movie, how do you think that would have gone? First off, him as Superman looks incredible. I'll say that. He
Right,
looks
right, right.
great. For those who are
Um,
listening or watching us, look up the photo. He looks great.
yeah. I think it would have been successful just because Brandon Fraser back in the day had a
Mm,
run where, we talk about it all the time on here where it's like there's always that one guy, right, who
mm.
feels like the it's the center of attention in Hollywood. He's getting all these roles. He's the next guy up. He's the next heartthrob. Um, Brandon Fraser went through that thing, and I could be wrong, but I think he had a traumatic experience in Hollywood, and I,
Yeah.
I don't really quite remember what all happened, but I know he had a traumatic experience. So that fucking sucks. But he was at one point.
The guy,
our Pedro Pascal, our Chris Pratt. He was our
Glenn
Glenn
Powell.
Powell. Like he
Yeah.
yes, like he was that person. So I think if you give us Superman back in that day, I'm pretty sure it's successful. I mean, who am I to say it wouldn't have been? He was hot back then.
Yeah, look at that boy.
Yeah,
Built
yeah.
like a tank, bro.
I think it would have been great. I think it would have been great. And who
Took me a
knows
little
where
bit
that
to get
fucking
his
takes
get the
us
picture.
though? Who knows where that fucking takes us though? Because if that happens, right? If the Nicolas Cage Superman movie happens, like who knows where the fuck we are in today's society with superhero movies? Like this is crazy to think about.
Yeah. But yeah,
Anyways, episode 54 of the Lame Guys podcast. I'm Mario.
I'm Vincent.
What do we got today, bro?
Okay, so I mean, yeah, actually, this is still fairly new news, at least for this week. One of the goats in television shows, bro. Game of Thrones. We got
Hmm.
some new news from Game of Thrones, bro. That it shows that Warner Brothers is actually in early development for a Game of Thrones movie. The studio has been quietly developing a film based on George R.R. Martin's fantasy universe as HBO/Max and Warner Brothers increasingly cross pollinate the company's big fantasy titles. The world of Game of Thrones could finally end up on the big screen. Warner Brothers have been quietly developing at least one film from Martin's epic fantasy universe. No filmmakers, casts, or writers have been attached yet. So we love Game of Thrones. We love the Game of Thrones universe. We love some House of Dragons. At least season one, season two was whatever. We'll see how we feel about season two years down the line. But with all that being said, are you excited for a Game of Thrones movie?
I'm excited just because it's like, why wouldn't I be? The show was up until season 8 was peak, like, or up until you could still make an argument that it's probably the most epic, greatest show of all time. Like, I'm sure some people could still make an argument for that, if not for season 8. Um, so who am I to not be excited for it? My only thing is like, okay, well, what would they do? Like, would they just redo what we saw on the show, or like, do we really need that? I think there's so many other stories that you could do in the Game of Thrones, world. We see it right now with House of Dragon. Like it's a very successful show. And you're right, season 1 was fantastic. Season 2, left a little to be desired, but I assume season 3 they'll pick back up and it'll be great again. So who am I to not be excited about it? But it's like I don't know if I want to see the show remade into movies. Do you? I would prefer something else, honestly.
What's funny is you asking that. I didn't even think about that. As far as
What would they do?
them, what would they do? Like, what would they
Right.
just redo the seasons, or like
Yeah, I don't know if I want that, to be honest.
I didn't even think about that in my head. I just thought, cool, Tyrion coming back, Jon Snow coming back, but then it's like, for what? Unless you just show what happens after season 8.
Yeah, okay, that I'm down for. That I'm
Yeah.
down for, but it's like, yeah, I guess I gotta hear what they're doing, right? Like, I am excited for it nonetheless, but I gotta ultimately hear what they're doing. Like, if they're just redoing the whole show in movie format, so what? So one movie would be one season worth of events, or like I don't know how that would work because in Game of Thrones those episodes are an hour long,
Yeah.
so that you're talking like only 3 episodes is a movie length. So I don't really know how they would do it. I think you would have to do a completely different story.
Okay, so now I'm trying to think because I remember I had it saved a while back and I ended up deleting it. But it was showing a thing of what we're going to get as far as for the Game of Thrones universe. And it was like, what's going to be a show, what's not going to be a show, what's going to be a this, what's going to be that, yada, yada. Because we're going to get, Knights of the Seven Kingdom thing or whatever. We got, House of Dragons story. I don't remember if they had one for, was it Aegon the Conqueror?
Hmm.
Uh, I'm about to say, they could take us to the very, very, very beginning. I'd be down for that.
I would be down for that too. You know what? I would also be down for a Robert's Rebellion.
What's
Robert
that?
Baratheon. Robert
Mm,
Baratheon, when he overthrows the Mad King, and him and he has this whole rebellion, and Ned Stark plays a big role, and Ned Stark's sister plays a big role. Pretty much the events before Game of Thrones,
mm.
that they hint multiple times, but we never really get to see that. I would be down for that.
Okay. So this is time of the recording, November 2nd, 2024. By the time this come out, it'll be the Monday. So for those listening, mark this one because I think Mario caught
Yeah,
it. I'm not gonna lie, I think
uh,
that's a good one.
Yeah, I would be down for that because you can make that multiple movies worth. And I hear from multiple sources that like the Roberts Rebellion stuff is very entertaining and like you could make a TV show out of that as well. Because apparently
I'd be down
Robert
for that.
Baratheon, bro, back in the day was a fucking stud. Was a fucking stud. What'd you say?
Shit. That'd be a good one. I was saying shit, but that'd be a
Yeah,
good one.
like yeah, yeah. Yeah, like, so that's
Um,
the only thing I can think of, and then I know there's other stories to talk about, so, I think that they could do multiple things.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I never thought about it, which is weird because, I mean, I
Mhm.
was excited for the news, but I didn't even put in mind of what could they possibly do.
Think about what it would be about.
Yeah, I didn't.
Right,
I just thought,
right.
"Damn, cool, Game of Thrones movie, bet, I'm down."
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Now
you wanna move on
no,
from there?
I'm excited nonetheless, but I'm just
Oh,
saying
my
yeah, yeah. I'm excited nonetheless, but I'm just saying depends what it would be about, right? But, yeah, let's move on.
bad. So, once again, a little bit old news, but I think, we can finally discuss it on here. October 25th, The Hollywood Reporter announced, bro, Spider-Man 4 is set for July 2026, bro.
Mhm.
The film opens 1 week after Christopher Nolan's next movie, which will also star Tom Holland. Spider-Man will be swinging back into theaters July 24th, 2026. Sony announced Friday. Tom Holland will be returning to the untitled Spider-Man 4, which has Destin Daniel Cretton set to direct. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We finally have a date and everything like that. Spider-Man 4 has been something that everyone's been waiting to hear any little details about. Tons of speculation on what the film is actually going to be about. Is it going to be a very grounded film? Or, I mean, I think the fans have been waiting for that grounded film. But then we heard some rumors a little bit ago that it was going to be more about multiversal type stuff. And then some people were disappointed. But then it's like, you never know what you could possibly do with more multiverse stuff. Because, I mean, they introduced the multiverse with No Way Home, and look where that got us. It got us three Spider-Man back together, and it was an amazing time at the theaters. Um, but I'm just happy that we have a date. That's just it.
It's just yeah, I mean, it's just ultimately it's in motion now and we're getting closer and closer and I feel like we go through these nonstop where it's like a movie gets announced, we're excited, then we think, "Oh, that's forever," we'll get there when we get there, and then it's fucking here, right? And then we go through that whole excitement, and so yeah, I mean, bro, yeah, I'm fucking excited for it. Uh, I thought that the Venom movie was gonna lead into that, and I guess it still could, because you have the end credit scene with Noel. But like, I just thought it would play more of a role and it would tell us more. Ultimately, we like you said, we still don't know what the Spider-Man movie is going to be. Is it going to be a grounded story? Is it going to be a multiversal story? Is Noel going to play a part in it? Regardless, I'm fucking excited. Tom Holland is going to have a heck of a year in 2026 if he's going to be in Christopher Nolan's movie and Spider-Man 4. Those two movies itself, I'm sure, you know, are MVP for a year's worth of movies.
And there's one big thing I forgot to mention, bro. He will also be in another film that year. 2 months before his movie comes out, Avengers Doomsday will be coming out in
Oh,
May.
yeah. Yes,
So
yes.
he's
I
gonna
I
so
forgot about that.
Avengers
Yep.
Doomsday is in May. 2 months later, we get Spider-Man 4.
I
So
saw a lot of
now,
people
go ahead.
I saw a lot of people worried about that, the whole the plate because, you have Avengers and then a Spider-Man movie right after. That doesn't really affect me at all. I don't really know why people would be worried about that. And you had the Avengers movie and then Captain Marvel, who sucks, but that movie still hit a billion, I think, right after Avengers, didn't it, as well? So I don't know why anybody would be worried about that.
But then we also had the situation where Ant-Man and the Wasp came out after, Infinity War.
That's true. That's true.
That one
And it was
came out
kind of
after
just like
Infinity.
an in between, like forgotten movie, right?
Yeah, and it showed the events. What's funny is that it came out after Infinity War, but it took place before Infinity War,
Hmm.
because at the very end, it shows when,
He gets in that car or
uh
whatever, right?
yeah, he gets lost
Yes,
into the, goddamn, what is it? Where does he get lost
the
into?
quantum realm.
Quantum realm, and Hope and all them
Yeah.
vanish. He's stuck.
Mm.
I mean, that leads into Endgame where they get him out and everything like that, or the rat
Yeah.
gets him out. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
so yes, it's what is that going to mean for Spider-Man 4? Is some major stuff going to happen to where we will get the interaction between Peter Parker and Victor Von Doom. How is that going to affect him? Or is it going to be a situation where it shouldn't affect him because, if this is the MCU's Doom, it shouldn't matter that he looks like Tony Stark type situation or whatever the conversations are going to be about the whole Doom situation and, Robert Downey Jr. playing this, back in the MCU.
Yeah.
What are the ramifications going to be for Spider-Man 4? That's going to be the biggest question, I feel like,
Mhm.
right after Avengers Doomsday, or could it be the same situation like we just mentioned right now, where Doomsday is going to happen, and then we're going to see Spider-Man 4, but it's actually going to be taking place right before Doomsday.
Yeah, I mean, you just there's multiple possibilities there. I think regardless, nonetheless, even though it comes after Avengers movie, I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's still going to be a success.
Yeah.
Spider-Man in itself sells itself. You know, I'm excited for it. And what a fucking year for movies, bro. I mean, can you like just thinking we're gonna have an Avengers movie and then a Spider-Man movie right after? Like, just hearing that just automatically makes me excited for the year 2026.
Yeah, I mean, you just said it. I mean, he's going to do Spider-Man and then Christopher Nolan's film, which is
Mhm.
major in itself.
What a
But then
year!
he
Yeah,
still has an Avengers film if he's going to be in it. No one said he's going to be in the film yet, but I feel
I
like
assume
we
he
can
will
all
be.
agree he will be in the movie.
Yes. Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, what a
but
year. What a year.
yeah, what a year for Tom Holland. And I think Zendaya is going to be back in it too. I mean, which rightfully so.
Right.
Uh, from there, bro, let's go into something that's near and dear to our heart, bro. Something that we love, and we're going to be doing updates on this when it comes out. Season 6 of Cobra Kai, bro, is coming out this month. Ah,
Yeah,
season 6 is coming out. We got a new poster from Netflix and everything like that, and the poster looks absolutely beautiful. We already had, part 1 of season 6. We're getting our part 2, 5 episodes, and then, they're gonna end it, next year, unfortunately. But it will be after will it be after Karate Kid, right? The movie?
I think it'll
Yeah,
be
yeah, because
after,
I
yeah.
think Karate Kid comes out
If I'm
this
not
December.
mistaken, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Or I thought they
where's
moved
your
it.
hype?
Did they not move it?
I thought Karate Kid was supposed to come out this December. Let's see. The new Karate Kid,
I think, yeah,
with
I think you're
Jackie
right,
Chan.
but I thought they had moved it or something. Did they?
Karate Kid Legends. Oh, 2025. You're right. May 2025. Okay, so never mind. We're gonna finish,
Yeah.
Cobra Kai and then
Okay, so then no.
Karate Kid.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Which I think honestly, I think it works out because I thought that this was gonna tie into Cobra Kai. I don't think it's going to. I think Cobra Kai is gonna happen. And then Daniel LaRusso will go off into that movie, but I don't think it'll really be tied into Cobra Kai other than Daniel LaRusso being in the show or in the movie. Um, Trailer looks fantastic. I don't know if you saw the trailer. It looks great. Um,
Yep.
I'm excited for it. We talked about it before. Them cutting it in 3 parts, I'm not really a fan of. I can understand 2, but 3 parts, geez. Um, but bro, this whole show has been a wild ride, and it's been great from start to finish, in my opinion. So it's like
Yeah.
I have full faith that the second part and the third part are ultimately going to tie in together perfectly, and I think it's going to be great.
It's amazing how such a simple concept of from when this show was on YouTube, bro, YouTube Red.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
paid for YouTube Red just so I can watch this damn show, and I watched season
Yeah.
1 at least 3 times within the span of, like, 2 days because I watched it by myself, told Emily about it, made her sit down and watch it, and then after that, we went to my parents' house, and I knew my dad's a big Karate Kid fan. I made him watch it, so we got through, like, 2 episodes in. My mom came home from work. She's like, "What are y'all doing?" And my dad's like, "I know you're probably not into this type of stuff. Sit down and watch." And we got through the first episode, and we looked at my mom like, "All right, you can go leave if you want." And she goes, "Come on, let's go." She got into it, so now she likes Cobra Kai too. So
Yeah.
what a wild ride this whole show has been, and it's
Hmm.
so good, bro. I love this
Yeah.
show so much.
Yeah. I agree, and it's literally, you hear like a show about karate, like, bro, it's not like, is there cringe in it? Yes, but like, it's very entertaining. It's very entertaining, and I try to sell my brother on it because my brother's like us, right? He likes wrestling. Uh, Wrestling a lot of times is very cringy. Um, and so it's like I think that he would like this show but he can't get over the fact that like he sees TikTok clips and it looks cringy, or he just feels like the whole vibe of high schoolers in the valley fighting karate dojos. Like I get it. It does sound cringy. I understand, but like me and my mom are the only ones that vibe off the show, bro. We talk about it. She watches it. She's a big fan. So yeah, I'm very excited, and it is crazy because it did start on YouTube Red, and I don't even think they expected it to take off like this.
No.
Uh, and it's just crazy out like looking back, seeing how young Miguel looks compared to how he looks now, like all the characters really. But um, yeah, it's been a wild ride, and I can't wait to I can wait because I don't want to finish it, but I can't wait to see how it ultimately all finishes up.
So you were saying it earlier, like, it does suck that as far as they broke it up and everything like that, like, it's whatever. But the two things out of it. The beauty of it is that we get it, we get it in parts to where this whole hype can last a little bit longer. We can continue to talk about Cobra Kai a little bit longer, which is
Mhm.
really cool. I mean, it's just like episodic TV to where it's week by week by week by week instead of like typical Netflix stuff, which I'm happy about because I mean, it's just a day and age where everything's just binge worthy. You can just sit
Yeah,
down, watch everything, call it a day. But after that hype is gone, it's gone. So it's just like imagine if we watched all this shit. After we're done, we will not be talking about this on episode 50, 54 right now. We would have been talking about this forever ago and called it a night.
yeah.
But no, bro, we're going to continue this hype. We're going to continue talking about it, and we're only going to have to wait a couple months until the movie comes out. So it's nice the way they're breaking it up and everything like that. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. No, and I agree, and well, that's how the other seasons of Cobra Kai were. You would watch the 10 episodes, and that was a wrap. It was a wrap. Like, you that was it.
Yep.
Wanna
You
move
wanna
on?
move on from there?
Yeah,
Did you finish Agatha?
I did.
Would you like to review Agatha?
Sure.
Let's go for it.
You wanna rank it first before we get into it? Like, the
Uh,
whole show. I don't know if we do that usually for shows, but sure.
yeah, sure.
Okay, the ranking for the whole season of Agatha All Along. 3, 2, 1, 7.
6.
Okay. So, you wanna go first, or you want me to?
Go for it.
I don't know about you. I really I don't wanna say I really got into this show, but I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I'll say that right now. You know, just based off how episode 1 was, I thought it was kinda just whatever. I just thought it was a money grab, like, why are we getting this show? Um, I just thought we don't need it. I don't think it's gonna tie into, um hold on, I'm looking up the cast right now. I don't think it's gonna tie into the whole MCU as a whole. So I had my doubts about it. I ultimately ended up really liking the show. It was just entertaining. It was a different change of pace from our normal MCU type stuff that we get. Um, I liked it. I'll say this: I liked it better than uh, the one with fucking Winter Soldier
Falcon and
and
Winter Soldier?
yeah, I liked it better than Falcon and Winter Soldier. Just
Wow.
based off an entertainment value, right? Like,
Mm.
um, I just was in it. It was just different. Like it was just every episode was different. Um, I enjoyed the whole witchcraft aspect. I enjoyed the whole um just it was just a completely different change of pace, and it just really hit with me. Like I don't know. Now I'm not saying like, I don't know if I don't even know what I would rank it as far as shows go. Um I know we ranked the Disney MCU shows before. I don't even really remember my rankings, but I don't know how high it would be, just because it is still like I said, it's just different. It's a different change of pace, and I could totally see people not liking it. Um, and I know I'm rambling right now, but like I really enjoyed it, and I thought that I don't know where it's gonna go from the future here. I couldn't tell you where we're gonna see Agatha. I couldn't tell you where we're gonna see Billy. I can't tell you like how it's going to tie into the MCU. Genuinely have no idea. Um, but overall, when it was all said and done, I was very pleased.
So I don't remember if I watched the first 2 episodes or we both watched the first 2 episodes and we both talked about it on here. Um,
The first week I'd only watched one episode, and you watched both, and you told me after the second episode's a lot better than the first.
okay. I wanna say I did a TikTok video about it saying that I still don't understand why they made this show. I don't know what was the point of it. I get it, Agatha was a cool character in WandaVision. She had a cool little theme song, yada, yada, yada. Don't need a show.
Mhm.
But I remember saying I could be I could have my mind change. This could turn around. I have been proven wrong before. Well, I was proven wrong. This show picked it up, honestly. It was pretty good. Even though I rank it a 6, but still, it changed my opinion on it. It made me continue to watch over and over and over. There was not once where, other than I guess the first 2, where I thought, "Yeah, I'm okay. I don't need to watch it anymore." No, I continued to
Mhm,
watch. Everything,
mhm.
you're right. It was something new, it was something different. Where the hell do we go with Agatha? I have no earthly idea, especially the
I
way it
genuinely have
ended.
no idea.
I have no idea where we're gonna go next.
Yes.
Um, the ending, I thought to myself, "You could have just given us one more episode." Like, we didn't like, spoiler for those who don't know, but I mean, like, Billy gets his powers. Shocker. We found out who he was. He was, he was Wanda's kid. He's what,
Mhm.
Wiccan, right? Is that his name?
Yes. Yeah.
What you call it? And then he's going out on a quest with Agatha to go find Tommy,
His brother. Yeah.
his brother Tommy. So in my head I thought, there's no confirmation of a season 2. We don't know where the hell Agatha falls into place in the MCU anymore. So it's like, where do we get this continuation of the story? Are we going to find out in Young Avengers or something like that? If they ever announce Young Avengers, are we going to hear that the show is very successful? Which actually it was successful. Viewership and everything like that increased all the time. Are they going to go ahead and announce a season 2? Like, I questions. That's all it is. It just left me with so many questions, which a lot of shows do, rightfully so.
Mhm.
But I just felt like, at least with most shows, it's almost like it leaves me with questions, but it's almost like I'm fulfilled. I didn't feel fulfilled with this one. I really didn't. Um, I'll say this: you thought Agatha All Along was fucking catchy. The whole Witches Road song, in my opinion, fucking catchy, bro. That shit was
Yeah.
clean. That shit was
Mhm.
clean, and it's cool. I mean, it was weird. It's almost like they should have switched the final 2 episodes. In my opinion, it
I thought
really
the
felt.
same.
I thought to
Yeah.
myself, wait, I'm like, the season. I was like, we have 2 episodes to watch for the season finale. Cool, that's badass. But as soon as I was done with that first one, I was like, what the hell are they going to show us next? Like, this is it. Like,
Mhm.
this is truly it. But
Mhm.
it's basically just the true origin of Agatha, and that's cool that they left it at the very end. But it was a little weird that they did it like that. But overall, I'm glad it changed my mind. Catherine Hahn did an amazing job as Agatha.
Mhm.
Kind of annoying at times, but still, I think that's just what the character does. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Um, like you said, Catherine Hahn was great. The whole witches aspect I thought was great. I thought it was just very entertaining.
Mm.
And the way they tie it in at the end, I agree with you. Once you already said spoilers for if you haven't seen it, but once Agatha died, I thought, what the fuck? I was like, so what's gonna be the next episode? Are you bringing her back? Like, what? Um, so you know that was interesting, but I liked how they gave us the backstory of Agatha. The whole season, you're thinking, what happened to Agatha's son? You don't know. They're teasing it. They're saying this. They've heard this. They've heard that. You don't know up until the last episode. And dude, I mentioned before, we're dads now. Gosh, bro, what a way to pull your heartstrings. Like her son wasn't supposed to live, and Aubrey Plaza as Lady Death, she did a great job as well. I always kind of think Aubrey Plaza is kind of annoying. She was kind of annoying in this as well, but it was whatever. I thought it was entertaining. Her makeup though, that was all
Phenomenal.
practical effects. The lady,
Yeah.
it was phenomenal. So she sees that the only thing she can offer Agatha is time, but you don't know how long a time like I just can't imagine like that, just having to live with that. Like it was just crazy the way they tied. I thought the last episode was ultimately good though, just because we got that backstory. And then we find out that the witch's road isn't even fucking real, and Agatha just made this song up to get witches to steal their powers. And I enjoyed that. Like I enjoyed how that all tied in together, and Agatha was just playing everybody just like the season was. Like it was Agatha all along. Like she was just playing everybody the whole time, all along. So I liked how they tied it in together. Um, the fact that it was Billy doing the whole witches road, and he was just doing that with his mind is crazy to think about, that he has that type of power. And I'm curious where that goes in the MCU, because like you said, I have no fucking idea. I could not tell you what I think he's going to be in next. I can't tell you how this is going to tie into the MCU. But as a show, it was it was good. Like I enjoyed it. I thought it was just like I said, it was just different. And it was different from these MCU shows. What was the last MCU show that we got?
Fuck.
See, like, I can't even remember, right?
Loki?
Like, I that's what I was thinking, but I thought there was one in between. I could be
Let me
completely
look
wrong.
it up.
I think you're right, though. I think it is Loki.
MCU Disney shows. Oh, X-Men, bro.
Okay, well, see, okay, well, that's different. Like,
Secret Invasion?
I don't really it was better than Secret Invasion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, Um, I just thought yeah, it was just a nice change of pace, dude. It was just a I really like the whole witches thing. I like American Horror Story, and one of my favorite seasons in American Horror Story is about the witches and the coven and stuff. So all that stuff is entertaining to me. And I liked how every episode was just different. They got to wear different clothes. It was a different era.
Mhm.
So ultimately, I think that they did the show really good. So
Yep.
I'm not saying that I give it a 7. I don't know where I would rank it. I'd have to sit down and think about that. Maybe we'll let a few more shows happen before we do another ranking of Disney shows. Um, but ultimately, it was good. I do agree, though. I think you could have flipped the episodes. And then two, I think sometimes when shows leave me confused as to like what the future is, that's kind of a negative in my opinion. But at the same time, like I already thought the show was just a money grab anyways, and I didn't think it was going to tie in anyway. So like, who am I to be annoyed about that?
Um, no, yeah, I agree. But sticking with I've been thinking about what you said about the, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I gave it a rewatch a little bit ago. It was better a second time. And
Okay, maybe I need to watch it the second time.
I didn't mind it the first time, but there
Mhm.
was a couple days where I was like, I just have this urge to rewatch a lot of Disney shows or Disney Plus shows, and I did. X-Men was still amazing. Um, WandaVision was still amazing. She-Hulk was still great to me, even though people don't like it. I still love it. Hawkeye was still, pretty good, and then, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I think I ended up because I still have my notes of where we ranked everything.
Okay.
I think I moved some stuff around after I watched it, so maybe you need to rewatch it.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I need to rewatch them. I'm not saying I don't like Falcon and Winter Soldier. I just feel
No,
like
yeah,
Falcon and Winter Soldier was kind of boring for the time. And we had just gotten some really good shows, right? Like we got WandaVision and then we got like it had to follow up some really strong seasons. So maybe I do need to rewatch it. I just feel from an entertainment aspect, just from an entertainment perspective, I was more entertained in these episodes than I was what I remember in Falcon and Winter Soldier, which that was already fucking what was that COVID times? That was
yeah,
already like 4 years ago, I think. So yeah, I
yeah.
could benefit from a rewatch, but as of right now, yeah, I was more entertained with it. What else
Sticking
you
with
got?
I was gonna say, I think the last thing we have on the, agenda, bro. Sticking with Marvel Studios, bro. They put out a trailer for their TV slate that's coming up, for next year. So we got What If season 3 for December 22nd, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man January 25th, Daredevil Born Again March 4th, Ironheart June 24th, Eyes of Wakanda August 6th, Marvel Zombies October 25th, and Wonder Man for December 25th. Got a lot to look forward to, I'll say that. Out of that list, what are you looking forward to the most?
The Spider. Well, it's tough. The Daredevil or Spider Man.
Mm,
I don't
for
know
me, it'll
about
be
you,
Daredevil.
but yeah. So okay. So one, I need to catch up on Daredevil. I'm a season behind, but I'm gonna rewatch the whole show because I don't really remember the Netflix part. I watched those and they were great, but I don't really remember a lot. Like I benefit from a rewatch. Um, but I feel like we've known about this Spider Man show for a long time. And it's finally happening and it's finally coming. And so I'm curious what that whole is going to be like, what that's going to be like. The trailer, the animation looks a little different than what we're used to,
Yeah.
at least from the trailer. Um, so I'm just curious how that's all going to work, and I'm curious. I remember reading that it was going to be the kind of like an origin story to our Spider-Man, MCU Spider-Man, but then I don't know if that got changed or I don't even know what the whole deal is there. Um, but I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so that is up there for one of my most anticipated.
Yeah, Daredevil Born Again, especially. Um, that was something I ended up finishing, the rest of the seasons for that because all I ever watched was season 1 and the first 2 episodes of season 2, and then I just stopped. I didn't watch anything else. It was amazing. They were great episodes. I just, for some reason, I don't remember what it was that took all my time and attention away, and I just never got back to it. But
Mhm.
recently I did that, and I'm so glad I did. It was such a great show. It was such a great show. So, for those who finished it when it ended, They've definitely had to wait a lot longer than what I'm having to wait,
Yeah.
but now I'm definitely looking forward to that. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, yes, the animation looks a little different, but at the same time, shit, we've been having this whole Spider-Verse stuff that's animations are just completely different left and right, so I'm down for it. It does look pretty interesting. To be honest with you, What If and Ironheart and Wonder Man, I just don't have hype for, to be honest with you.
I think it. I think ultimately it's the latest season of What If was kind of just whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and that does because I really enjoyed the first season of What If.
Mhm.
Second season was not a big fan, so I think that's why I don't really have that much hype for. Is the Marvel Zombies gonna be in What If, or is that gonna be its own thing?
I think it's gonna be its own thing, but I think we kinda got a little, like, taste of it from that one What If episode.
Yeah, I'm excited about that as well. Like, I don't know how
Oh, yeah.
that whole thing is gonna work too. But the one What If episode of the zombies was I thought was great too. So, ultimately, I'm not very anticipation. I don't really have high expectations for the Ironheart one either. But like I didn't have it for Agatha, so you know, I'm going into it with an open mind.
Yeah, I didn't have it for Agatha. I didn't have it for Loki. I mean, there's multiple shows where I had 0 hype for, and it turned me around to where I thought, actually, that
Mhm.
was pretty good.
Mm.
So, I mean, the Ironheart thing, I thought, "Hey, shoot, cool. Riri was in Wakanda Forever. Like, no hate to her. She did a phenomenal job for what she did. But for me, it just didn't resonate. It didn't hit for me. So I'm definitely curious to see what they're gonna do with Ironheart. Wonder Man, I don't know anything about Wonder Man. I know what
I
he
don't
looks like,
either.
and that's it. The actor Yaya, I can't remember his last name. Not trying to be disrespectful. I just don't remember his last name, but he was Black Manta in Aquaman
Mm,
or whatever. I
mm.
like him as Black Manta. I think he's going to do good for whatever he's going to, for whatever he's given. Um, and for What If, yeah, season 2 was just I didn't care for it at all. Kind of bored by it, honestly. So for season 3, I'm just like, eh, whatever.
Yeah, I agree. No, I think Disney has earned now. How do I word this? I think it's earned the right to make these shows that we may not think have need to be made or we may not think are going to tie in, but they have the right now to make these shows and they have a good track record, I feel, as for enough for us to be like, okay, like I have faith that this is probably going to be good.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, they've definitely proven themselves count time and time again. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
The Eyes of Wakanda thing, I'm curious. I'm very curious to see how that's going to go.
Yeah, me too.
Animation looks a little different, but I'm definitely curious because I feel like I can speak for both of us. Big ass Black Panther fans.
Yeah.
We love that first one. The second one, at least for me, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, obviously, you feel the loss without our King T'Challa, without
Mm,
Chadwick Boseman, but the whole Namor aspect and everything, or Namor aspect, was amazing. So I'm definitely
yeah.
curious to see where this Eyes of Wakanda takes us.
Yeah. Um we have a big month Gladiators coming up this month.
Okay, we
We
gotta get
gotta
our
get
tickets.
tickets for Gladiator. Do you want to see Heretic?
uh, to be honest, I didn't really care if I did or not, but I've been seeing that it's gotten like decent, like word of mouth.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
That comes out the 7th, so I'm down to go see that if you are. Um, because I'm looking at what the slate is this month. Are you gonna want to see Red One?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's gonna just be like a cheesy type movie, but it has The Rock and it has Chris Evans, so
Yeah, I'm
gotta
expecting to
go
see
see
The
that one.
Rock do what The Rock does, and Chris Evans.
Yes.
I mean, I'm down.
Yeah, and then Gladiator comes out the 21st, which I feel like that movie is gonna be fantastic. I hope it is because I have so much hype for it. Um, and then the 28th, we have Moana 2.
Hell yeah, boy! I can't
Yeah.
wait for Moana 2. I
So
saw the popcorn bucket. It
we
looks clean.
we got a good month of movies. We're now in November. So we got a good month of movies here this month. Um, I'm looking at what we have the rest of the year.
I'm gonna say this
Not
though.
much. What?
I'm gonna try my hardest not to get the damn Gladiator popcorn bucket, but if it is available with that Coliseum, I cannot promise that I won't buy it. That thing looks amazing.
Yeah. December's kinda light though, huh? I don't really see when does
Uh,
Craven come out? I don't really s that
December
they don't have that on here.
comes out this
I'm looking
this
on
is
the Cinemark app.
Movies
They
out
don't have Craven on
in
here.
December. That's weird because I feel
'Cause
like it
we saw the
oh,
trailer
oh,
even w
uh,
what?
we got Craven and we got Mufasa.
Okay, Craven doesn't have a date though, does
Really?
it? Because whenever we were recently, me and Teresa were also at the movies, and, the Craven trailer played, and then it said December, and she asked me, "Do you know when in December?" And I said, "Hmm, that's a good question. I don't know when in December." And then Cinemark doesn't have it on either.
Um, let's see. Let's look up Craven. Craven the Hunter. Full cast. Come on, motherfucker. December 13th. Oh shit.
Okay, that's weird because it doesn't oh, yeah, well, you can't go see it that day. Um, that's weird, it doesn't say it on here, on the Cinemark app. Oh,
A
well.
lot a lot of shit's happening December 13th, bro.
Why? What's
We
happening? I know
got
it's your
Craven.
birthday and then Undertaker.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, birthdays, whatever. But we got Craven. We got the Undertaker thing. And just announced, bro. We got the Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre album coming out. Ooh,
Oh,
yes, sir. Boy.
that's more your thing. It's not really my thing. Anything else?
No, that's all we got.
Cool. So, yeah, we'll try to see some of these movies and get some of these reviews out. There, November is a pretty stacked month,
Yeah.
and then December doesn't really seem like there's much going on, but we'll try to figure some stuff out. But until then, we'll catch you guys next week.
All right. Later.